Anytime.
Stand by. 3, 2, 1, roll.
At the heart of Steven Spielberg's The Color Purple is a child's game, and I think it's called Miss Mary Mack.
Yes, it's what we call the Mike Haddada.
Communication between Nettie and Seeley. Where did that game come from, and when did you decide to use it like you do?
Well, it was one of the first things that I discovered when I was trying to convert the novel into a film, was that I wanted there to be a bonding between the sisters that would almost be a symbol or a salute. And I kept thinking, I was working with Menno Mayo as the screenwriter, and we were thinking of all sorts of things, a strange hand sign, the Vulcans, I think the Vulcans are like this on Star Trek. We were looking for something.
And I started thinking of Close Encounters, too.
And the Close Encounters, the Truffaut hand sign, and I wanted some expression of bonding, and I just remembered little children often play that game, and faster, and it gets more and more complicated, and I thought that would be in the right spirit of the story.
And I mention that spirit because although many are talking about this as a departure for Steven Spielberg, I think it's the best of Steven Spielberg that we've had up to now. Do you really see it as such a marked departure?
I think it's a departure because of the subject matter. The subject matter is the departure. The process of making the movie is the process of filmmaking, and that pretty much stays the same from picture to picture, but the subject matter got me so excited because I was suddenly dealing with characters, a small story and large characters. And
real lightning instead of special effects.
And real lightning. You notice it was real lightning because somebody earlier said, I saw one effect in the movie, it was lightning, and I said, I promised you, the storm hit and we photographed the storm.
And you also saw it in your head in black and white for a while.
Yeah, I was going to shoot the film in black and white for a while. Yes.
Is that a courageous decision to even think about something like that anymore? Woody Allen's done it.
I guess I was more influenced by John Ford, and I remembered how good the Grapes of Wrath looked, and Tobacco Road looked, and The Informer. And then I also remembered the Walker Evans photographs. Yes, exactly. And I do love black and white, but the whole nature of black and white would defy the idea behind The Color Purple.
Finally, children. You had your child at a fortuitous point during the shooting of this picture, I understand.
Yeah, I had my son, Max, on the day I was photographing the birthing scene, when young Seeley gives birth to Olivia, her second born. And I was actually on the set, take 3. She was struggling, the breath was coming out of her mouth, we were struggling to actually to shoot a very authentic delivery. And there was a phone call, and it was Amy saying, I'm in active labor, get home, get me to the hospital.
Max, right?
Yeah.
And in the best tradition of the great directors, these happy accidents keep happening for you. Harpo and Oprah.
Yeah, I was lucky. That's a happy accident, all right.
Maybe you should explain.
Well, Harpo and Oprah is Harpo spelled backwards. And Margaret Avery plays the character Shug Avery. And that was certainly a coincidence, but I still haven't figured out what this all means.
Yeah,
I'm saying I haven't charted this to figure out what all these little connections mean.
Tell us about The Color Purple itself, those beautiful blooms in the fields. For real, the real thing? And
everything is a real thing. The one thing I wanted to do with this movie was to shoot the real thing. I didn't want this movie to be in any way manufactured or duplicated or copied or synthesized in a laboratory. I wanted everything to be very authentic, from the furniture, which is absolutely the period of and the style of the times, to the costumes and to the performances. We became history majors.
Stephen, in closing, I guess I feel like we should go.
Oh yes, we could go like
Mary Mack.
Mary Mack, right.
All right.
Okay.
Pleasure to talk with you, sir.
Nice to talk.
Communication, as always, at the heart of The Color Purple by Steven Spielberg. And from New York City for KCTV5, I'm John Tibbetts.
You do that. So how do you do that? I mean, I can never do what you do. How can you do that? That's great. I mean, it's just
Get that on film, will you?
It's like having, you don't have cue cards or anything, you just...
Well, you can't bring anything like that.
That's really
Busy
interesting.
looking at that, don't hear what you're saying.